bunch of nuts. Yeah, bunch of nuts bothering us. Oh, yeah, we do.
That one, we don't have insurance for because they want the city to approve the contract, sign the contract first, and then, they'll provide the insurance, so it still won't be official till you approve it. You don't have to worry about that one. That one is for the mayor to sign. Yeah. That one came from my desk.
What's up, big guy? You saving the city? Saving us some money? That's all I was thinking I could do. On what? So Kamala Harris was named today. Oh, yeah, I saw breaking news, which I like. I like her. She's a prosecutor. I'm kind of big on crime control. She's good. Yeah.
How's your wife, Ken? No?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got it more from the standpoint. Yeah, and she will become president.
Where you get that mask at? That's a good one. Where'd you get that mask from? Mine too. Yeah. I know. Mine fog up too. Not as much. Yeah. I know. I try it all too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. Right, exactly. Are you presenting today? Well, I'm here for the mayor.
You, Aisha, you called Toya for some hand sanitizer a couple of days ago. What happened with that? She don't need to call me. She doesn't need to call me. Do they have any?
Council.
Hey,
Hello.
Where you get that jacket?
Hello.
Hey, AT&T?
Where you get that jacket?
Yes, this is Victor, your event producer.
Okay, this is council chambers. I just wanted to test the sound quality. Does it sounds okay? You're able to hear me? I'm sure there's some echo. Test. Hello, moderator?
hear me?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, is that the insurance? Cause Ken said the other one's missing the non-contributory and primary. It's not divided, it's urban. Here is, what? Right, so it doesn't sound, because they need the time or whatever. But I don't need that because once I give it to you, you're gonna get the actual signature. So they the signatures now. No, but once we get the signature, right, and I give it back to him. And I don't need that. I already, that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go get it. I mean, I gave them non-contributory. Primary non-contributory.
You know what? When you twist it like this, it creates a bigger air passage. So my glasses don't see right. And I learned that. I learned what? Yeah. And I learned that from, I went to the hospital for anesthesia, and the nurse said this is what you can do because you wear
Inside
glasses.
first, and then put this on top. Steam, they heat.
Going to call to order the council meeting for August 11th, 2020. To rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag, of the United States of America.
Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present for City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, and Joint Powers Authority.
Let's see here. Public comment. Any persons wishing to make a public comment can call in with the number on the screen, 888-251-2949, or 1-251-861-0694. The access code is 617-9740, #. Moderator, are there any persons on the line that wish to make public comment?
We have one person. Caller, please state your
May I go now?
Yes.
Okay. My comment is about the CDBG TV homeowners. I mean, we've asked repeatedly you guys to allot money for homeowners, that homeowners and their property taxes are part of what runs the city. And we're not really getting any relief. And since this is at your discretion and if we can be included, I'd like to hear how you're planning on using some of this money for the homeowners so we don't lose our home and that we can participate and get the money that is available out there through the CARES Act or the CDBG TV thing, all those different stuff. Approximately $4.5 million had been taken out of the general fund, at least on paper, and for 10 people for new homeowners before. And that, it's not going to people who have in the city, who have been supporting the city in a different type of way. Hello?
Oh, all right.
I can hear people talking over me. So assessment, well, basically, you've also forgiven about a variety of low interest.
It's not on the agenda.
Excuse me, what?
An item is not agendized. Speak later. It's not on the.
The CDBG and the CARES Act.
Ms. Kraft, go ahead. We can hear you.
I'm sorry, I have not identified myself, so I don't know why you're even calling a name out. So anyway, so you guys have forgiven millions of dollars in low-interest loans to developers that you don't think you'll get back, and it's concerning that that money could also have gone towards these same types of things. We keep on saying there's more money available, then it will go back to these different places. And it's primarily for if you're over 62, if you're low-income earner, but primarily a renter. And so I would like to hear how you're planning on helping the homeowners out in some of these programs who are also suffering, many who are not working, many who are having trouble paying their mortgages or their property taxes, et cetera. And, we keep getting assessed for things to pay for things for the city, so it's clear that property taxes are important to the city and homeownership is important to the city. Can you please support the homeowners in this incentivized thing that you're doing?
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Kraft. Are there any other callers on the line?
At this time,
Yes,
there are
I'm
no
on
other.
the line.
Excuse me?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Go right ahead, sir. How you doing, Mr. Matthew?
Hey, best wishes. Haven't been on a long time.
I know.
Hey, I miss you guys.
We miss you too. Likewise.
Well, best wishes. First, I'd like to speak on payment of the bills as usual. And what I'd like to bring your attention is your plate is full, and recognize that. But we still need some oversight on payment of the bills. I've been diligently keeping up with paying the bills, and I have a list for this student number C. I still like to suggest that extrapolate at least 10 more payments some oversight and follow the process that we have in place. And on the second item I'd like to speak to is the city treasury report. And I read the report, it's excellent report. And there's good news on the report because Ms. Brown has almost made $1 million this fiscal year.
Mr. Matthew, there's no treasury report on the agenda. You'll have to wait until the end for general public comment. Mr. Operator,
Why is it on the agenda? It's on the agenda for receive and file.
no. Oh, excuse me. Oh, please go ahead. You're
It
right.
sure is. It's always on the agenda. But I'm speaking in terms of the.
Mr. Matthew, I'm sorry. I sure did miss it. Go right ahead.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. Your plate is full. I understand everything, Jimmy. Everything's going to be good. And I'm just commenting on the congratulating Ms. Brown because I'm looking way back when we had Stanley Jones. Now, that's before your time. And that's the last treasurer that I remember from the 60s. And so, in spite of this COVID, which is the thing that really is the one that's in charge of everything right now. But with all of that, with best with this, we have to make quite a bit of adjustment. And we are in good shape, to be the jewel of South Bay. And we're in good position to stabilize the whole Bay. But we have to do due diligence. And we're getting lots of money in for emergency and so forth. And we have to be sure that we use up this money before 2 days. And also, the money has, I think, a drop dead date. So we have to be sure that we have things in place to use up the money before the 30th. So anyway, we're going to need all hands on deck. And Ms. Brown is doing an excellent job. And I think she should be congratulated. And this council has to come together as a team.
Mr. Matthew, you're at time. Thank you very much.
Well, I thank you for your time and best wishes.
All right.
You guys stay strong.
Operator, is there anyone else on the line?
I do see one other hand here. Caller, please state your name.
Good evening. This is Billion with Africa Town Coalition. As far as the city attorney denying the claim for car damage, with the construction that's going on, a lot of people's cars are being damaged. And when you try to file a claim with Metro or Wall Say, you're referred back to the city. So people need to know exactly who to file a claim with. As far as the mayor's proposal for COVID rental assistance, a lot of people are wondering how will this be allocated, who will be chosen for this assistance. And also there are people who are suffering with mortgage assistance, people who are out of work who are getting back on mortgage payments. So that also needs to be in consideration in addition to the businesses that are losing out during this lockdown.
Thank you, sir. We'll discuss that topic when the item comes up. So thank you very much for your input. Operator, does that complete the hands that are up?
Absolutely. There's no other questions or comments.
Thank you very much. I was going to make a presentation, but I'm going to wait and hope that the TV gets back up first. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payment.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council, Council, Successor Agency and Housing Authority members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. Consent calendar, items 2 and 3.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. A1,
Thank you, Mayor. No oral reports from the city attorney.
CM1,
Thank you, Mayor. No oral reports from the city manager's office.
CC1.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Just wanted to announce nomination period was opened on July 13th through August 7th, closing at 5 p.m. Election Code 10225, when an incumbent does not file for re-election, nomination period is extended. In this case, the nomination period has been extended to August 12th at 5 p.m. This notice was and still is posted at the city's website, library, and legal board in front of City Hall. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. CM1,
Already said, no council, no city manager reports.
okay. CT1,
Monthly treasurer's report for the month ending on April 30th, 2020.
receive and file. Before we go on to CI1, I think the monitor's back up, and if you could put up the first photo. Okay, disclaimer, I'm a graduate of Crenshaw High School. And tomorrow, August 12th, is the 80th birthday of Willie West. He is the third winningest high school coach in the history of California, and he was a former long-term resident at Holly Park Knolls. And I've been joined by the council in this proclamation. Whereas it is a distinct pleasure of the mayor and council members of the city of Inglewood to recognize Willie West Jr. for his outstanding contributions to the community at large, and whereas Willie West Jr. was a longtime resident who resided at Hollywood Park Knolls in Inglewood, he began his illustrious career as basketball coach for Crenshaw High School's boys basketball team, a career in which he amassed 802 victories, with only 3 other coaches in California history to hold more victories. And whereas under the leadership of Willie West Jr., his teams won a record 8 state titles, 16 Los Angeles City section titles, and 28 league titles, resulting in him gaining greater recognition in the athletic realm. Whereas Willie West Jr., through his 37 years of coaching at Crenshaw High, has coached many players who went on to reach professional levels in basketball, with some playing in the NBA, including Marcus Johnson, John Williams, Darwin Cook, Robert Smith, Tremaine Folks. More than 40 of his former players later competed at the four-year colleges, including current Cal State LA men's basketball coach Stephen Thompson. And whereas Willie West Jr. has made a positive impact in the lives of his players and the community, which resulted in the renaming of Crenshaw High School Physical Education Complex to the Willie E. West Jr. Pavilion in 1995. We salute Willie West on the occasion of his 80th birthday on August 12th for being the epitome of the word sportsman and for knowing that investing in the youth of today promises us all a brighter future for tomorrow. We thank you for all of your endeavors, and today the city of Inglewood honors you. Now therefore be it known that the mayor and council members of the city of Inglewood, California, do hereby proclaim your birthday, August 12th, 2020, as Willie West Jr. Day in the city of Inglewood. If you guys just stand over here, I'll take a picture with you so we can send it to the coach.
Oh, sure.
Mask or no mask?
Shoot. How dangerous do you feel? Just knock him off of the door. Come with us over here. Let's see. We'll take one from the seal. Okay, one more. We're gonna slide down here. I have recycle the picture back. Brother, this exactly. Yeah, right there. You can take this one and take that one. There you go. There you go, exactly.
Oh, you want me to, I can move.
Thank you. tomorrow, his players are going to have a virtual birthday party for him. And he'll get to see this then. Okay, so now we're at CI1.
Initiative by Mayor James T. Butts Jr. recommending direction be given to staff to develop 2 COVID-19 relief programs to assist low-income and unemployed and underemployed Inglewood residents pay past due rents due to COVID-19 impact and other basic needs.
Okay, and in a nutshell, this is a recommendation that we take the 1.38 million in CARES relief money that is coming to the city, but is not here yet, that was intended to be used for public safety expenditures and other COVID-related expenditures. But it's my recommendation that we combine that with over 800,000 in CDBG or HUD funds that are going to be made available to the city, and front load that with $2 million from the general fund to provide rental assistance in the amount of $500 per person for low income and unemployed or underemployed Inglewood residents to pay past due rents due to COVID-19 impacts and other basic needs. This would, by statute, for those that have Section 8 assistance, would have to go directly to the landlord. However, the unemployed or underemployed, meaning people that lost their job and had to take employment paying them less, they would be allotted, in every case, up to $500. And for them, it would be in the form of a debit card, which we're exploring. Now, for those questions about, well, what about homeowners? Homeowners are in a unique situation because the federal government has forced modifications to their loans where the missed payments can be put onto the back end of the loan without any catch-up provision. It's just an extension of their loan. I feel, and I hope the council agrees, that the critical need right now is for our renters, because even though they have eviction protection, their costs continue to stack up. And so, in a nutshell, is there any other comment before?
I have one, Mayor.
Yes.
Goes alongside with what you were saying. First, I agree. I know the caller, and we'll all receive calls from single-family homeowners, and so I want to address that now, how I feel about it. So much like the mayor said, the state and federal government have made accommodations to folks with mortgages. It will obviously be placed at the back end of the mortgages, from what I understand, but it will allow relief to the homeowners, and they will remain in their home with all the details of that mortgage staying put, and when they get back on track, they'll be able to start paying that off. The difference between them and the renters, of course, is that, like the mayor said, it continues to get stacked up, and we're putting them basically behind the 8 ball if that happens. If we were to allow the property owners to also generate this payment for themselves, they would technically, we may see some individuals win twice, win because the renters have applied for it, and win as property owners. So albeit no program is perfect, this is a huge step in helping the renters. I look forward to it. I just want to make sure that staff develop a program where we can establish that all the requirements have been filled, and folks on incomes that are seniors, that are closest, that are the most vulnerable, hopefully they get the announcements and they get any help they need to fill their applications out in any language that they need. So I would just like to ensure that they go out in Spanish, all of the advertisements and everything else as well.
That's an excellent idea. Councilman Franklin?
Yes, Mayor, I just want to reconfirm the comments about the money that we're going to receive from federal government. We have a time restraint, and so it's critical that we go ahead and upfront the funds through our unencumbered reserves, so we can move this program forward, because we have to exhaust those funds by the month of August of December of this year, and we need to get our program in place and expedite and dispersing those funds as soon as possible. So I echo in support of this.
Right, just a slight modification to that. The payments for CARES are coming in 6 separate installments, and I don't know quite the intervals, but the bigger issue for time for us is that people need money now.
Now, that's right.
CARES, the first CARES
Yep.
program expired July 31st. Along with it, the additional supplement for unemployment. And so this gives an opportunity for those people that are unemployed to have replacement for that government stipend that they lost. So I agree with you on the one hand, but the urgency is getting this in people's hands right now.
Yes.
Because we could have up to 6 months.
Yes,
All
thanks
right.
for clarity. Thank you.
All right.
Quick comment.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Just, again, this is one of these programs that we as a mayor, the council, as a city, we're trying to help out those in our community that are in need. And we're trying to do it sooner than later, which is why we're pulling these funds from the reserve account. It's because we feel the strong need to help folks today, not 3 months from now or 6 months from now. That being said, please, whoever's out there listening, we will be putting this on our social media, and we'll be putting the word out there in Spanish and English, because it's important that everybody understands that, you know, if you're eligible for this, to please take advantage of this opportunity to help yourself and help your family. And so with that said, it's a great opportunity, and I hope folks take it for what it is.
All right. Councilman Dodson.
I really have no comment other than I'd like to really congratulate the mayor and the council for even doing this, even thinking of this. It just shows you that we are people up here that live in Inglewood, and we think about the people who live in Inglewood. This, to me, is a really big deal. So if you qualify, please turn your papers in, or whatever the qualifications are.
So please understand this for everybody listening. There's going to be a staff report generated, and that's going to be one of the motions that I believe Councilman Morales is going to read into the record. And when that staff report is done, we will have another meeting where the ins and outs of the program are explained, how to apply, what to expect, the timelines. And so right now, this motion puts everybody on notice that this program is being developed, and there will be a future council meeting very soon, we hope next week, where the parameters will be explained.
So I would like to make that motion, and I know that there's 3 items under CI1. One is to direct staff, which we have, both in terms of the staff report and with our comments. Number 2, authorize staff to amend the 2019-2020 budget to use up to $2 million in general fund reserves to implement the COVID-19 relief programs. And number 3, direct staff to submit a staff report for city council consideration and action at the council meeting of August 18th, 2020. With that, I make the motion for items 2 and 3 of CI1.
I second it.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. I just want to make sure that we didn't vote specifically on one as yet. Is that right?
We don't need to, that's direction
Okay.
to staff,
I'm just making sure.
right? City
He
attorney?
shrugged his shoulders. That's a scary sign.
Who's shrugging?
So I'm.
So I moved item 1.
Okay.
I second item 1.
Madam Clerk.
Can you just back up just a little bit? You had mentioned 2 and 3. That's what.
That's what we voted.
We voted on
Now
2
we're
and
voting
3,
for 1.
and now we're voting on
And for
1.
the-
To make
okay.
sure we're voted on 1.
Okay, and the motion was?
Ken,
Thank you.
goodbye.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. CSA 2.
Warrant register, oh, we did that.
CSA 2.
Okay, monthly treasurer's report for the month ending April 30th, 2020.
Receive and file. Adjourn to successor agency. H2.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending April 30th, 2020.
Receive and file. Adjourn the Housing Authority, JPA 1.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending April 30th, 2020.
Receive and file. Adjourn the JPA. There are no appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Public comment. Any person who wishes to address the council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. Operator, are there any callers?
Yes.
We do have one on the line.
Go ahead.
Caller, please state your name and question or comment.
First of all, a caller does not have to identify themselves at any time as Brown Act. So what you did is inform that the council does not protect individuals, the citizens, or their employees. And based on my experience, that is not the transparent response or professional. You rephrase what was said inaccurately, and we can't correct you or recorrect you when you misstate a truth. We're looking behind the green curtain. You're not answering questions that are asked during public hearing comments most of the time, and your constant interference whenever I call is a problem. And you didn't answer about the opportunity zone slippers, the capital gains tax, and how it's going to benefit citizens. Mayor seems awfully amused. You guys, your continual deridement of us is an attempt to silence us. And some of you are property owners, also business and finance free, and are in real estate should know that our money goes into the general fund, and know that it's not how it works. Not everyone has that option for their mortgage. And also, if it goes back in the mortgage, that's going to raise the payment. So this is why homeowners need relief. It seems you're very concerned about homeowners and saying, oh, some people will benefit.
All
Look
right.
at
Thank you very much, Operator. We can terminate that. So just to be clear, this is front-loaded money from sources that will not be general fund in the end. This is front-loading it with general fund money. So your concern about receiving access to general fund program is unfounded because it will be replaced. So thank you. We have one do we have any more speakers?
Yes.
We have a couple more on the line.
Okay, well, let's go down to Community Room A first.
Hello, Mayor. This is Wanda Brown. I'm the treasurer of the City of Inglewood, and I was here earlier to speak on agenda items, but you would not come to me. But I would like to point out regarding your appointments to the, your proposed appointments to the League of City, I think is a disgrace. You are a disgrace, and I think that you should not be appointed. Your former executive, Mayor Melanie Dade, is suing the city for $12 million for an array of charges. Not only that, state audit has found lack of necessary financial controls, shows that that the city is in serious disarray under your management, and for that reason, again, I think that you should not be appointed to the League of Cities. Also, I'd like to point out, since I wasn't able to speak earlier, regarding the Treasury report, we have $175,626,129. Also, Councilman Padilla shouldn't be there either, because Hector Padilla, the nephew of Councilman Padilla, bought up $4 million of property in Inglewood before any of the residents knew anything about it. I think you're both corrupt, and neither of you should be appointed to the League of Cities. But of course, I know that those four worms that sit up there with you.
Thank you, Ms.
will
Brown. Thank you. Okay. Appreciate that. Now, two callers. Yes, two callers. You have 1 minute, sir. Go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Yes. How's it going, Mayor Butt?
Going well.
Yes, Mayor Butt. This is Curtis that I'm about to have an opportunity to talk in. I'm back regarding the Senator Ellis taking a project. The folks have entertained that shut down our youth ministry. Enough. I talked like on the cell phone, and I had hands harassed me, called me a snitch because I called you at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm eating on Dark Street, and a cop said he would put hands on the air and the key. He had the speaker call me back the following morning. He said that he talked at property. At me, and also for the vendors can follow me. It is that follow me around. That I have to do it. You can right over 4 block with you gave the left.
Okay, caller, we're at time. Operator, the next caller.
Caller, please go ahead.
This is Billion with the Africa Town Coalition. I'm going to read some of the demands people have been giving us over social media for about the past month. Number one, residents will be given a fair democratic process which allows all residents to have a say in city affairs. 2, residents of Inglewood must receive an active role in the engagement of the city's budget. 3, women will not be subjected to sexual harassment as an employee or during any professional engagement in City Hall. 4, residents and city employees will not be disrespected, intimidated, bullied, and fired by Mayor Butts, the City Council, or the Inglewood Police Department for opposing the mayor's agenda. 5, elected officials and city employees will not be denied access to City Council meetings. 6, residents and small business owners must receive assistance, resources, and relief to help them sustain their presence in the city. 7, defund the Inglewood Police Department and reallocate taxpayer dollars into education, independent safety groups, and resources for the community. 8, tax dollars, grants, and other sources, known or unknown, of Inglewood funding must be used to immediately provide housing for the homeless population in the city. 9, corporations becoming...
We're at time. Thank you, sir. Okay. Operator, are there any more callers?
We do have more here.
Go right ahead.
Caller, please state your comment.
All right, hello. This is regarding the council meeting last week that was canceled, but we are aware that there is one going on right now. I have a concern as to why the community room is not open or available to the public right now. This is undemocratic, as we have the right, as the residents of Inglewood, to go inside and voice their concerns without having it on time on the phone. It's copy. The signal is very well. The public cannot hear our concerns. The mayor Butts running as a tyrant and the leadership, not allowing residents to voice their opinions. Residents, also council members, as Wanda Brown, not recall for your position. Thank you.
Is that it, sir?
Looks like we do have one more caller on the line.
Go ahead, operator. Well, before you start that.
Operator, yeah, I'm here.
You didn't answer one of the other callers' answer questions. Everyone agrees on the urgency of the money, but not how to spend it and where to spend it, to whom it's going to be distributed. That's important.
Ma'am, have you spoken already?
Answer them. You didn't answer her.
Ma'am, have you spoken already?
I'm speaking now.
No,
You're using up my time. You're using up my time. You're using up my time. I can wait for everybody's stuff.
It's public comment.
Oh, go ahead, ma'am. I thought you were the first caller. Go right ahead.
I don't care what you think. You always do this. You take it every time. I want a whole nother minute.
You can have another minute. Go ahead.
You think that's funny. You have not agreed on the proper way to spend the money, and the homeowners deserve it. And you answer the question the general fund part. But even if it's federal money that's coming in, that is something that could be spent for all citizens. $500 is a little bit. There's more money, and keep that in an area also for homeowners, not just renters. It's urgent. It's urgent for everybody. Also, the also doesn't do what they're supposed to do a lot of times, just like he was all people around. They don't think you right. When are you going to answer citizen questions and ask what ask about and fix the problem? Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Operator, any more callers?
I do not see any.
Yeah, I'm a caller.
Hey, operator, or do you control like the queue or what?
I am controlling. That's not coming from this side here.
Hey, Jimmy, let people talk.
Okay, then if that's not coming through you, then please mute the line.
Come on, man. Come on, Jimmy.
How is this happening?
That's Gil.
Line
is now muted.
It's working well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, did Mr. Matthew get to speak once on?
Not for public comment.
Okay,
on any
operator,
item.
now cue it properly, and please get Mr. Matthew back so he can have his minute.
Mr. Matthew, can you please press #2 on your telephone?
Yes.
Okay, he's not on my line, so his line.
I'm calling.
Go ahead, let him.
Well, go ahead, Gil. We're listening to you.
Yeah, they've been told in the queue that presidents want to talk. Come on, Jimmy.
You don't know me that well, Gil. Would you please go right ahead, Mr. Matthew?
Oh, Jimmy, come on, man.
Line is now muted.
Are you going to use your time, sir?
No.
All right. Okay, then, would you mute the line, and we'll move on to the next item, operator. We're now at, before we go to Mayor and Council remarks, I want to respond to the caller before Mr. Matthew. Again, these are funds from the CARES Act and from HUD that are not general fund monies that are being front-loaded so that we can provide relief right now to renters. The reason we chose renters was that property owners received exemptions through the CARES Act to stack their missed payments onto the end of their loans with no increase in their monthly payments. That's not the same as eviction protection for renters, and that's why the council chose to focus on renters with these funds. Now with that, it's time for council remarks. Councilman Dodson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just got one comment. If you're looking at this on TV, you can see the protection I have on. You as a person should protect yourself and your family. The only way that you're gonna do that I know of, is with a mask and make sure you stay distant. This city has provided me with an extra protection. With this mask on, I still have the visor. So please, let's pay attention to the small details, because this virus is not gonna go away until we do what we need to do. And please, take care of yourself, your family, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Councilman Padilla.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, it kind of goes on, you know, the council initiative kind of goes under sometimes the old no good deed goes unpunished, you know. We're trying to do the right thing. Sometimes no matter what you do, you're not gonna make everybody happy, and we get that. And we understand it, and that's just the way it is. But in our heart of hearts, we're trying to help families. Trying to help them any way that we can. And so this is, you know, one step in that direction, along with the other things that we have done in just the past few months with the rent initiatives. So, you know, we will continue to do the right thing right and move forward. So, you know, folks, let's continue to be positive about the things that we're trying to accomplish here in the city of Inglewood. I also just want to, again, acknowledge Willie West Jr. Tomorrow's his 80th birthday, and 37 years he had quite a career at Crenshaw High School. And so congratulations and happy birthday to Mr. West. I also just want to reiterate a little bit of what Councilman Dotson said about this COVID-19 and this pandemic. You know, folks, we got to continue to just practice those steps that are already proven to be beneficial to communities all over the world, But let's specifically look here in Inglewood, about wearing the mask. If you want to, if you have a shield, wear the shield with the mask. Make sure you're washing your hands, make sure you're social distancing. These are all things that's going to help our community. And more importantly, it's going to help you, your family, and your loved ones. So let's continue to practice those things. Mayor, I got to give a big shout out. So we had some excitement in the Padilla household this past Friday. My daughter Priscilla, I love you, mija, blessed Stella and I with our first grandchild, a grandson. So congratulations to little Leonardo Andreas, 6 pounds, 20 ounces, and welcome to this beautiful world. And, folks always tell you, wait till you become a grandpa. It's really, and man, I'll tell you, I'm already, as you can see, I'm excited. So congratulations to my daughter and to Rafael on the birth of their son, Leonardo. Mayor, I'd also ask you to please close the council meeting in the memory of a long-term Inglewood resident, District 2 resident, Desiree Cromwell, who recently passed away, and may she rest in peace. And that's Desiree Cromwell. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Franklin, District 4.
Yes, let me piggyback from Councilman Padilla's comments regarding how you can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. And this was a clear example of how we are doing our best to do the best we can for those that are in need. Not greedy, but needy. And the funds that we receive from the federal government, it's a pass-through, and that we are appropriating those monies to make sure that they are put in the hands as soon as possible to those that are in need in the city of Inglewood. I also would congratulate Grandpa Padilla. I'm glad to hear that both son and daughter are doing, grandson and daughter are doing well, and everyone be safe and stay healthy. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Morales.
Yeah, I'd just like to talk a little bit about the same. The callers, they pointed out that they disagree with the way we are handling the funds for this relief. And I want to say that, that's what those comments are for, to let us know whether they agree or disagree, and that's fine. Of course, we're elected to make those decisions and take into consideration all of the knowledge we know, both on phone calls we've gotten from residents based on need, both on the fact that we understand how these funds are working, and we do our best. Now, the COVID Relief Fund is going to many, many cities. Every city should get touched at some way, shape, or form. We received a certain amount, I think it's 1.3 million, and we believe we should have received more in some cases. Some cities did. However, this is why the mayor actually helped put some of our reserve in to make these programs not only feasible, but to make them impactful. So that is why we're making it the way we're making it into a $2 million program. As I said in my comments, no program is perfect, and you can check what every city does with these funds, and chances are many people will disagree. However, like Alex and Ralph said, what we're trying to do is help as many in the best way we can do within the time frame with the small funds we have. So we believe this is a great program, and we look forward to it. And those are my comments, and congratulations to Alex. I know you'll have a blast. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, I like that word, impactful. That was powerful. And again, to piggyback on Councilman Franklin, Councilman Morales, the reality is that cities are hurting as well. Their general funds have been impacted by the drop in sales tax revenues and other revenues that have occurred because people and businesses are not producing these days. And a number of cities, I think 500 cities, have taken these funds to backfill police overtime, other measures that have been necessary because of responding to the COVID-19 crisis. This council has chosen to use these funds to help people that are hurting. And we're able to do this because we have been frugal with our reserves, because we are situated in a position where we don't have to lay off people, that we can look forward to the future. And so to the few people I've heard that said we should use it for homeowners, I understand what you say. But again, I'm going to reiterate, homeowners receive protections that renters do not receive. Renters' rents, while stayed, accrue, and somewhere or another they're going to have to pay those back when those protections expire. So I just want to thank the council for supporting me in this, and I believe this is definitely the glass is half empty, while some may see it as half full. Now with that, I want to close the meeting in honor of Desiree Cromwell, and I also want to close it in celebration of Leonardo Andreas, the littlest Padilla. With that, we're adjourned.
Okay.